WWE superstar Kurt Hawkins currently has an ongoing impressive streak for all the wrong reasons. The man who returned to WWE telling us we would all soon have to face the facts must now face the fact he has an uninterrupted 161 losses in the WWE since November of 2016. On the other side of the spectrum, WWE Women's Royal Rumble winner Asuka currently has the longest undefeated streak in WWE history. But, as we all know, wrestling streaks that involve either winning or losing are eventually broken. In this video we look at 10 of wrestling's greatest streaks and how they ended. Number 10. Gilberg's light heavyweight title reign. Dwayne Gill was, to put it lightly, just a jobber in the WWF, having no relevancy in the company whatsoever. That is until he joined the Job Squad, receiving an opportunity to face WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Christian on an episode of Raw. In one of WWE's biggest upset wins, Gill was victorious, winning the belt. As the months went on, Gill would go on to parodying WCW's top star Goldberg, still holding the belt. In fact, Goldberg went on to hold the belt for an astonishing 448 days, but this comes to no surprise when over those 15 months, Gilberg had a total of about 18 matches, with the belt not even being on the line in most cases. Nevertheless, the longest WWF Light Heavyweight Championships reign finally came to an end on an uneventful Sunday Night Heat episode, losing it to S.A. Rios. Number 9. Charlotte Flair's pay-per-view streak. When Charlotte Flair was booked for a match against WWE Raw Women's Champion Bayley at 2017's Fastlane pay-per-view, the WWE Universe was convinced the daughter of the 16-time World Champion would regain her lost crown at the pay-per-view. The win was considered as totally predictable, as Flair had racked up a pay-per-view streak of 16 wins. WWE systematically booked Charlotte to win at every single pay-per-view so that she could cement her status as being the queen of pay-per-views. Yet nobody predicted that Bayley would manage to retain her championship, defeating Flair at Fastlane, abruptly ending her pay-per-view wins just before WrestleMania 33. To make matters worse, the win was only achieved with the help of Sasha Banks, squandering a year-and-a-half-long streak ending on a B-show pay-per-view. Flair, however, spoke on how the streak was just really a coincidence that was tied in. Two ways to look at it. When I started, people started being like, "You have a pay-per-view streak going on." I'm like, what? I was 16-0, which was weird because it became 16. It was 16-0 and then Cena won the 16th time. There was no thought put into that, but I just kept racking up the numbers. I'm like, well, you have a pay-per-view streak, because I didn't really think about it. I didn't. It was more of a statistic than a story. Number 8. The Honky Tonk Man's Intercontinental Championship run. For Butch Reed, it was the worst time to no-show an event, as a decision was made to have the natural Butch Reed defeat Ricky Steamboat to become the new Intercontinental Champion. With Reed nowhere to be seen, Jake Roberts was considered, but he was also a no-show. With nobody in contendership for the title, Vince would take advice from his top star Hulk Hogan, where the two would take a walk around the arena until Hogan suddenly blurted out, "What about him?" pointing to the Honky Tonk Man. Just like that, the Honky Tonk Man would elevate his career, winning the IC belt. Since the decision to make Honky champion was literally on the spot, many assumed he would just be a transitional champion, waiting to be defeated by a bigger superstar. Even though Honky would be DQ'd in a number of title matches, thereby not having to surrender the belt, he would miraculously hang on to it for an unprecedented 454 days, self-proclaiming himself as the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. His streak as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion would be ended by the Ultimate Warrior, with a squash win at 1988's SummerSlam. To this day, only 3 wrestlers, Pedro Morales, Randy Savage, and Don Morocco, have held the belt for more than a year. But no wrestler has topped the Honky Tonk Man's reign. Number 7. The New Day's WWE Tag Team Championship reign. In 1989, the then reigning WWF Tag Team Champions Demolition would lose the belts to the Brainbusters on a TV taping of Superstars. The loss marked an end to one of the WWF's all-time greatest records, as the face-painted duo held onto the belts for 478 consecutive days. Unbeknownst to Demolition at the time, their record would be held for 27 years, as WWE Raw Tag Team Champions The New Day held the straps from August 23, 2015 to December 18, 2016, a total of 483 days before being beaten by Cesaro and Sheamus. Number 6. Tatanka's undefeated streak. It's a streak that's rarely mentioned in WWE, as the Native American Tatanka went more than 18 months without defeat, beginning from his official debut in 1992 with his first win against Pat Tanaka. Over the year, the wins kept coming in, and even though they were mostly over jobbers like Barry Horowitz and Damien Demento, he defeated the likes of Rick Martel, Shawn Michaels, and Bam Bam Bigelow, racking up 89 singles victories. It took until September 1993 when his streak was finally ended by the Finnish version of Brock Lesnar, Ludwig Borger. Unfortunately, the loss would take away all the momentum he had built up over those months, keeping Tatanka at mid-card level and nothing more. Number 5. WCW Monday Nitro's 84-week streak. In a different kind of streak, during the Monday Night Wars, the two biggest US wrestling promotions would go head-to-head every Monday night, comparing the amount of viewers each show had under the Nielsen rating system. WCW Monday Nitro would take a tremendous lead after Scott Hall's declaration of a war was followed with the appearance of Kevin Nash, leading to the third man being revealed, resulting in the formation of the New World Order. After showing a more realistic portrayal of storylines and factions, WCW would go on having an incredible 84-week streak of beating Monday Night Raw in the ratings. After being beaten tirelessly each week, WWE was forced to retaliate, developing their more grittier Attitude Era, headed by stars such as Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, and D-Generation X to name a few. Slowly but surely, the WWE would play catch-up. The turning point would occur when the WWE teased a match between the Texas Rattlesnake and Vince McMahon, drawing a 4.6 rating, finally ending WCW's 84-week streak. After interchanging wins each week, WWE would begin an even lengthier streak of approximately 122 week wins from November 2nd, 1998 right up until WCW's demise. Number 4. The Fabulous Moolah's 28-year title reign. On September 18, 1956, the Fabulous Moolah defeated Judy Grable to win the vacant Women's World title. Moolah held the title for 28 years until an ambitious contender named Wendy Richter challenged the champion. As pop icon Cyndi Lauper traded insults with Captain Lou Albano, the two decided that Richter and Moolah would settle the score for them. With Lauper in a corner, Richter made history at the brawl to end it all and ended Moolah's near 3-decade-long reign. Number 3. Goldberg's undefeated streak. Bill Goldberg was one of the most popular figures in the hottest period of wrestling history. As many know, Goldberg wasn't known for his work rate in the ring, rather the opposite, being a dominant force, mowing down his opponents one after the other, building a massive undefeated streak. For more than a year, Goldberg didn't lose a single match, with his streak reaching 173 wins and 0 losses before 1998's Starrcade pay-per-view. Sadly, the streak was ended at Starrcade in one of wrestling's most anticlimactic events, with Kevin Nash picking up the first victory. However, many have questioned the legitimacy of the number of wins, as its accepted 173 wins was grossly inflated. In the Monday Night War series on the WWE Network, The Miz said that when you watch Goldberg on TV, you'd believe any number they said. One day he would have like 5 wins, the next week he'd have 15 wins. The number would just go on and on and on to where it was like, wait a second, how did he get this many wins in such a short time? But you believed it, I believed it. Perhaps we should investigate on what the real streak count should be. Let us know in the comments down below. Number 2. The Undertaker's Wrestlemania streak. Probably recognized as the most well-known streak in the history of the WWE. It's regarded as one of the most impressive feats in sports entertainment history and one that will surely be hard to duplicate. 21 straight victories over a period of 23 years, with the likes of Jimmy Snuka, King Kong Bundy, Diesel, Ric Flair, Triple H and CM Punk were just some of the names The Undertaker put to rest on the grandest stage of them all. As the 30th anniversary of Wrestlemania approached, fans would learn his next opponent, or victim, would be none other than the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar. It took a total of 3 F5s and all of Lesnar's tenacity to get the win, and to have all 75,000 plus fans in attendance to be in utter disbelief that a 2-decade streak had finally come to an end. But why did the streak come to an end? Dave Meltzer notes that Vince McMahon was ultimately the one who made the decision to put Lesnar over. The WWE owner apparently felt that The Undertaker should do the best thing for business and lose in what was likely to be his last match. And number 1. Bruno Sammartino's near 8-year championship reign. In present day wrestling, fans are used to seeing title changes every few months, but in the early days of pro wrestling, it was a different story. On May 17, 1963, inside Madison Square Garden, Bruno Sammartino defeated Buddy Rogers to win the then WWF Championship in a staggering 48 seconds. Bruno would go on to becoming the longest reigning champion in WWE history, holding the belt for an unprecedented 7 years, 8 months and 1 day, until he was defeated in the same arena he won it to Ivan Koloff. The win was so stunning that when the entire arena went silent, Sammartino thought he had gone deaf. The belt was not even handed to Koloff in the ring, in fear the audience might start a riot. Well guys, there you have it, 10 of wrestling's greatest streaks and how they ended. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.